Okay, I decided to start on the door first to lay the lime green. So first of all, you've seen in the previous one I've mopped the door, so it's compounded down. Should be no ceramic coat on there now, and it should be contaminant free. We've also just wiped it down with isopropanol, 70%, so that should be good. And now I've just laid some knifeless tape all the way along the seal trim there, because that's where I'm going to leave the excess film to tuck underneath the seal. I left it around about 1/4 of an inch because looking at it, the actual door goes in quite a bit, so I didn't want to do completely flush, otherwise I may see some white. So I've gone a bit further, so it should be fine. I've masked off the cover for the side mirrors because I don't want any dust coming up and getting on the film. That's a magnet for wherever it will be, so we can remove that later. So here we go. I'm just going to cut out the film and put it on the car. Okay, so immediately we have the film on the car flat. No squeegeeing, just flat. So I've what they call glassed it, so just pull everything tight so it remains flat on the vehicle, and then when we squeegee it, there's little chance of air or wrinkles, anything like that. Okay, so now it's time to squeegee it down, and should take 10 minutes. Okay, so the green's all squeegeed down now. Thorough job, make sure that everything is squeegeed everywhere on the door, so there's no chance the adhesion is not going to activate. Seen it before where people have just glossed over it very quickly with the squeegee, and you don't have the adhesion, so have to do that properly. And then I post heated all around the door, everywhere, basically gone over it at a heat of 8 on the gun, and gone around all the door and watched for any bubbles coming up. And normally I can tell with the smell of the vinyl whether I've hit the right mark with the temperature. Okay, you should use infrared gun for the temperature, but experience tells me when I'm ready for the post-heat procedure. Okay, so now I'm going to release my knifeless tape. I always make a little incision first to help the knifeless tape along its way, and then I'm going to cut it all the way down here, pull it all the way down. I'll have a nice neat line to push under the trim here. Okay, so that's the next job. Okay, so run the knifeless tape down, and you can see I've started pushing the material under the trim like this, feeding it in, forcing it in, so it's under the black. Okay, and then even noticing now I could have left the knifeless tape a little shorter so that not as much has to be tucked underneath. Bit deceiving, but now I know for the other side. Just I will cut right underneath here with the knife, close to this edge, not the door edge. Okay, so I'm going to run the knife along here, just like I'm doing with my squeegee, but with the back side of the blade running along the top and not touching the car, so there's no danger of scratching the car with the knife. Okay, so there you have the finished result of the seal. Trimmed it nice, you can't see any white, which is the aim of the game. It's nice and neat, tucked into the seal, and I've also post heated it again just to make sure no water gets in there and it stays where it is. That's the idea, so we don't want it coming back up and the customer being annoyed. Okay, so that's that done. Now I've got to open the door and finish off the trim. So I've run some knifeless tape all the way around the inside of the door, so when I pull the material over, I'm going to get a nice neat edge on the door on the inside. This car is going to have the inside done as well, so I'm going to put like an overlay over the top of that to hide the white later on. But first of all, we're going to move it over the line and make it nice and neat. And we're going to post heat it again on the edges, so none of it's coming up again. This way we don't get any knives on the car, no scratches, no cuts, everybody's happy. that's the finished result of the knifeless tape going all the way around this edge. So we have a nice neat line all the way around the door line, all the way around to the front. So when I go around to do the internal part of the doors, I don't have to go right up to the edge. I can just cover that and it'll look fantastic. It's got a bit of knifeless tape up here. So if I shut the door now, I think I can shut it. Yeah, so there we go. I have one beautiful door. Perfect. Just like paint, you wouldn't know it was wrapped, and that's the idea, as much as possible. So there we go. Nice neat corners, everything looking good. There we go, one finished article. Cut out the aperture for the mirror, and I made like a number of like a castle kind of incisions around the corner, just slits here, not straight, not right into the recess, but maybe 1/8 of an inch out, and then slits just round the bend, fold them in, and then the rest fold in nice and straight. So creating no tension on these when you make those multiple slits, and then they should stay there no problem. What do you think, guys? Looking good, looking good. This is the other door. Finished it all. No point explaining everything I've already just told you guys. So there we go, I've done it, but this is a bit I missed with you on the other one. So I've cut in several places around the arch like I said, and the same here, and then we can just tuck them round and there's no stress on the material. Okay, it sits in nice and stays where it should be. Okay, so we just carry on going around like so. Keeping the tension on the lip so it sits flush. There we have it. Perfectly nice aperture for the mirror to sit in. They cover it up anyway, but it's nice to know it's going to stay like that and not pop back. So that's good. I'm going to heat it again now, and then everything's tickety-boo onto the wings, fenders, and then we'll see. Then I'm going to start tackling the rear end, obviously, which is going to be the major part of this car. Okay, bye for now.